Welcome to Wake Up Call for the Soul with Bill and Wendy. Hi, Bill.
Hey, Wendy.
Well, I'm glad we're sitting down today because truly, Bill is my person that I come to when I need a little hope. And I feel like I was a bit down, especially this morning. And Bill and I were on a walk, as we often do in the morning. We live beside a lovely park, so it's nice to get out in nature and really refresh ourselves. And we started having a conversation, and I thought, boy, this might be helpful for the listeners. But a little bit of backstory. Unfortunately, the news gets me down a little bit. So where are we today? I woke up, it's a Monday, so I really haven't checked in since the weekend. And I wake to see that our U.S. Vice President was just recently over trying to negotiate peace talks with Iran. And the headlines are failed peace talks. And also the headlines are gas prices are going crazy, spiking. Our president has threatened to blockade an already blockaded strait. So we have so much uncertainty in the world. And I will admit, I was getting scared. I was getting a little bit scared. And of course, it's Bill I turned to. So Bill, help me out here. We started having a conversation about my fears and how the world likes to bring us down because of this. I know, Bill, we've talked about the energies in the world, and there's just so many things. It's hard to sometimes be positive.
Yeah, well, that's by design, right? There are forces in this world that are very interested in keeping humanity in a mindset, an emotional field of fear, of lack, of uncertainty, doubt, and anything that helps to magnify those thoughts and feelings is in their interest. It's what they want. And when I think about how the world is currently constructed, the fabricated world of human invention, it's pretty much perfectly designed right now to promote those very things that are against truth, against life, against beauty, against unity and wholeness. So for me, it's kind of what I expect. I don't really see what's different.
Well, you were talking about how you want to raise your own vibrational frequency. And then the more people that focus more on love and light versus fear and the news, and even you're saying gas prices aren't real.
Just made up. Yeah. So, one way to think about the fabricated world of human invention is that, as I said, it's designed to promote all of these lower, we could call them frequencies or disharmonies. And so, what is our tool? What is it that will help to change this world? And I can't change this world if I buy into all the garbage being true. I can't change this world if I choose fear instead of love or hope. I can't change this world if I allow myself to go down to the lowest level, the lowest common denominator of energetic frequencies available on the planet. My hope is in allowing myself to exist as much as I can in what we might call higher frequencies, brighter light, more love. They're all metaphors pointing in this direction of people who elevate our consciousness, who elevate our awareness, who express more love and light in the world. We then become an invitation for others to choose that as well. And the more of us there are, then the more people can choose it. The fewer of us there are, the harder it is going to be for people to choose these things in light of all of the fake garbage awfulness that is being manufactured and then pumped toward us.
Well, that makes sense and I think that's why I often come to you, because then you invite me to think differently. So I do feel better just hearing you tell me that I can't change things if I'm focused on fear, that I have to focus and receive light and life and all these other kind of things, so that I guess that energy will move through the world and allow others to be invited to change too.
Well, if everything is a unified whole, as I have suggested, of interacting energy fields through sympathetic resonance, then we each have the possibility of having our own field. We could call it a field of light that we emanate and that we radiate as an invitation for others to choose that for themselves. We can't force light on people. Then we're just like the dark forces who are trying to push fear and lack and separation and division and anger and frustration on people. And the thing is, I mean, what's happening on the planet right now is the reason why things appear to be getting worse is because they are actually getting better.
Yeah, that's tough to wrap my brain around.
What is happening right now is that divinity is pouring out massive amounts of very high frequency energies upon this planet, actually throughout our solar system, and I think this whole quadrant of the galaxy, in order to assist our species through this transition from a society, a global civilization based on fear and violence, sacrifice, to one that is based in love, light, peace, real peace, not just the absence of conflict, but peace that flows from the wholeness of being. This is what we are being invited to. And because these energies are stirring up a lot of stuff on the planet, because whatever is out of harmony with these things, it in its own way is coming up to the surface to be seen, to be perceived. And this is across all scales. So individual people are confronting more of their own inner disharmonies, their own inner fears and everything. But it's also working at these larger scales in terms of families, communities, nation states, global political alliances, economic systems. These energies are influencing this stuff across all of the scales of what we would call space or size or distance. What a lot of people don't understand is that this stuff is coming up to be seen, to be perceived, and to say, oh, I don't want that. I want this other thing. And that's why it's so important for people on this planet who are aware of what's going on to be what we might call frequency carriers, light bringers, people who are aware of what's going on. We maintain, elevate our frequency, our light, our love, so that people can tune into that when they say, I don't want that. I want this. So this is a time that is intended to help people to become more aware of the choices that they are making so that they can either choose more of what they don't want or to begin to shift their focus from what they don't want to what they deeply desire, to what they truly want to experience, to be, to feel, to know.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it feels like we're on this roller coaster, highs and then lows. And even the weather is reflecting that. We live in an area of the world where we do get spring, summer, fall, winter. We have the four seasons, but it feels like lately in 1 week we can have all four seasons because we're having 70, 80-degree Fahrenheit weather. And then we get a little bit of snow and we're back with our winter coats. So it's been so crazy, this energy shift. You can even step outside and feel it. And then the other positive thing or interesting thing about all of this is we just had our astronauts come back from their orbit around the moon. And it was interesting to hear their perspective and what one of them said was so surprising was just looking at planet Earth and seeing that it's just one little planet in this whole galaxy around. So we are all connected to something much bigger.
What the fabricated world and those who have an interest in perpetuating it want us to believe is that we are fragmented, that we are separated, that we are alone, and that that which is outside of this world is hostile to us, which is an absolute lie.
But
It's
when you
not
get out
true.
and you step out to space, that's what they saw, just the Earth. We're all human beings. We're all part of one small planet.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, that's your answer to focused on what we truly desire.
Well, yeah, but like we've talked about in a previous episode, my sense of what human beings truly desire is to experience conscious union with the source, with divinity. And
True.
so that practice is my foundation for doing my best to exist in these higher frequency ranges, to resonate with greater light and love so that I can be, in my own way, a little buoy in the chaotic ocean, a little tiny lighthouse on the shore, whatever, for people to say, oh, okay, maybe we should go that way. That we all have this potential to be invitations for others to change, to love, to grow, to heal, to develop. We all have that. And my way of doing that is through my practice of seeking the divine essence for the transformation of my being. And part of my desire is not only for my own personal or individual transformation, but I deeply desire a transformed world. And I know I can't change this world if I'm not different from the world that needs to go, the world that needs to not exist anymore.
That's true. We're either here called together to be part of what you just spoke of, or we're going to live in fear, huddled in our own little worlds, and everyone else is separate.
You can look at what's happening in the world now. And to me, I mean, there are two sort of extremes, maybe, of a continuum of how you look at it. I look at what's happening in the world right now, and I am super excited because I know that if things are looking like this, then it is, in its own way, people's wake-up call.
Yes.
Their wake-up call to see themselves differently, to see the world differently, to see others differently. And there's going to be people who will double down on darkness. That's their choice. And there are consequences associated with that. But what's also available is the choice to see everything happening and to say, I want something different. I desire something different for myself, for my loved ones, my family, my friends, my community, my planet, my species. I want something different. And for people to say, instead of just accepting things as they are, to say a hard no, no, I don't choose that. No, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to accept these so-called facts that are not facts. They're not true. They're intended to keep people enslaved. I guess this conversation for me is another invitation to invite people to choose something different than what is being presented in all of these different media streams, even in people's own lives and their workplaces and all of these things that people have made up. It's like, choose something different. And there's a way. There are people who are choosing something different. Find those people. Go to those people. Hang out with those people. Talk to those people. Whatever. Listen to them. We are everywhere. The media is not going to cover it because the media makes money and has more power whenever it promotes fear and division.
And I guess this conversation for me is just another wake-up call, as you said, because when we feel down, when we feel disconnected and on this roller coaster low, I guess for myself, I need to check in and be like, why am I allowing that to happen? What am I being called to do or to be or to feel or to desire or to work on?
Or to know. Because the fabricated world wants us to always buy into its definition,
Right.
always believe the lie, to say, oh my gosh, that's real, that's true.
And I don't think just telling someone to stop watching the news is the answer.
No, it's not. That's not the answer. I find it helpful for myself personally because I don't want to give my life force to something that wants to kill me. That to me is insane. I refuse to do it. I'm doing my best not to do it. No, everyone is a unique individual. So each person needs to choose for themselves what makes sense. And the truth is that we all know deep down what we actually deeply desire and require. But again, the fabricated world is designed to push us toward distraction, toward addiction, toward choosing that which is not for our best and highest. And so it takes a conscious effort to take that time, to make that space, to really listen to our deepest aspects with curiosity and openness, to hear them express, well, what do I, as a whole being, deeply desire, deeply require in this moment? Is it rest? Is it food? Is it water? Is it movement? Is it fresh air? Is it sunlight? And then from that space, we have the opportunity to ask questions about, well, what am I going to contribute from this space? What unique expressions of light and love can I bring into this world through the uniqueness of my being, instead of focusing on how this fake world is somehow limiting my options?
Well, thank you, Bill. This has been very helpful. Is there anything else you want to share with our listeners before we are finished?
I'd just like to encourage everyone to go within, to look within your own heart, to dig down into the depths of our own souls so that we don't have to engage in this game of copying other people's desires, where we know who we are. And from that place of inner knowing, then we have the ability to express our unique lights in this world so that all might benefit.
And there are ways to do that. I'm sure you have more information on your Wake Up Call for the Soul website.
Definitely.
People can reach out to you. There's other groups that you're involved with.
The possibilities are endless for people to get whatever
To
help.
tap into this source love that we keep talking about.
Yeah, no, there's no limit there. That's the beauty of it. You know, the lie is that there's limitation and lack. You tap into source, you seek source's love. There's no lack or limitation there. Absolutely.
Okay, well, thanks, Bill, and thanks for chatting with me today.
Thank you, Wendy. It's always a pleasure.
Until next time.
Until next time. Thank you so much for listening to Wake Up Call for the Soul with Bill and Wendy. We hope you'll join us next time.